Do you want to learn or improve your data exploration skills in Python? In this video, I'll show you how you can explore and analyze a real-world dataset about cities of the world with Python. If you've ever wondered how to transform raw data into meaningful information, you're in the right place. Hello, my name is Thomas from Pyginners, and I've been working with data for years, and I love to help beginners use Python for analyzing data and creating value. This tutorial is perfect for beginners and even those with some experience looking to level up their skills. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to visualize data, answer questions about the dataset, and draw key insights from your dataset. By the way, if you don't know how to install Python, don't worry. I have a step-by-step installation video and you will find the link in the description below. All right, let's get started. The dataset we're going to use is about world cities and it's from the World Cities database. I'll leave a link to that website in the descriptions. I used the free version that has around 47,000 places. All right, let's get started. There are a couple of different libraries that you will want to import, and you can find my entire notebook, so you can copy paste the code in order to import the libraries needed. So let's get started. I'll first import our dataset, which I had downloaded as CSV, by typing df equals pandas dot read CSV. World cities dot CSV and execute it. Now let's have a look at our data by typing in df.shape, and this will tell you the shape of your data frame. We have 47,868 rows and 11 columns. All right, usually I first type in df.head. This is a very useful function to have a glance at the first rows. We can see that we have columns like city name, latitude, longitude, the country of the city, if it's a capital, primary, admin, and also the population, of course. And there's a city ID. One of the first things I usually like to do when I look at a data set is check how many missing values there are in each column. And we can visualize this in a nice way with a heat map. And I can do so if I type in plt.figure. And then I choose a fixed size that is big enough. For instance, 15,5, and then I put in Seaborn, which we defined as sns.heatmap. I put in df, our data frame, and then dot is null for null values. White tick labels is false, and as color map I choose plasma. You can choose another style here, and I type in plt.xticks rotation equals 45, so that all xticks labels can be seen well. And lastly, plt.show. Oh, there is a mistake here. There's a bracket missing. Okay, fine. Now we're seeing for all columns the missing values, and the more yellow a column is, the more null values we have there. And we see that we only have a few missing values in admin name and some missing values for population, but many null values for the capital. Now I want to find out the top 10 cities regarding population. First, however, I want to know what the median is of all cities. So I type in df.population. This is the column we want to inspect, .median. And if I execute this, we see that the median value is 20,915. So 50% of the population are greater than this amount and 50% are smaller. So now let's get back to the top 10 cities. In order to do that, I'm going to define top cities equals df dot, another useful function, and largest. First parameter here is the amount, let's say the 10, and then you have to enter the column that you want to look at, and we have population here. So we can execute this. Oh, there's a T missing. And now, to visualize this in a nice way, I'm going to make a chart again. plt.figure, fig size is 15.5 again. And this time I'm going to use a Seaborn bar plot. Data parameter will be our top cities from before. X label is the city, Y label the population, and I'll choose a palette called winter here. Again, I want to have X ticks rotation 45 degrees, and we can assign a title to our chart with plt.title. Choose top 10 cities with most people. Okay, and plt.show. Perfect, this works. We see Tokyo is the biggest city, Jakarta, Delhi, and then Guangzhou. By the way, if you like this kind of format with exploratory data analysis, please leave me a like so I know that you want more of this kind of content. Next, let's find out which countries have the most cities with at least 1 million people. As we have seen with the null values before, we have some null values in the population. Let's impute them with a median value for the population. We can type in df.population filna, and then we insert the value, the median value for the population, and type in place equaling true, so they are imputed right at our data frame df. And if we now execute this chart here again, we see that there are no more missing values left for population. Perfect. Now we can do our desired analysis with the major cities. So I'll create a new data frame called major cities grouped, which is defined as df.if population greater than 1 million. And then we want to group by this data frame by the country, and the column that we want to look at is the city, and the function is nUnique, which returns the number, the unique number of cities with at least 1 million people. So, and if we execute this, we can see if this worked. And yeah, now we see for each country how many cities there are with at least 1 million people in this data set. But we can make this look nicer if we type in reset index. Dot sort values city, and we want to have the highest rank on top, so we put in ascending equals false, and with the backslash I can type in on the next line, I can continue the and largest cities, let's say 10, and the column we want to look at is city. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, now we see China has by far the most cities with over 1 million, followed by India and the United States. So how can we make a chart out of this? I'll put plt.figure and fix size again 15.5, and this time we'll use a bar plot with our major cities grouped. X-axis will be the country, y-axis is the city, and palette, let's use something different now, flare. X-axis rotation, (45 degrees), and a title cities with over 1 million. All right, plt.show. Okay, let's have a look at the result. Great. We see the 10 countries with most cities of at least 1 million people. Let's answer another question on our data set. Let's say we want to find out which country does have the highest population on average, and we're not going to use the average but the median. So let's type in df.group by country, and this time we want to look at the population column, and the median. So again, the median is the value. If you sort all population values from highest to lowest, the median is exactly in the middle. And then we'll reset index to get a new data frame. And sort values. For population, ascending is false. And let's look at the highest 10 countries. Here is a dot, and we see that Singapore has the highest median population, and Macau is on number 2. The geographical distribution of cities is something else that we can have a look at in this data set. And I want to narrow down on only US cities with over 100,000 people. So I'll type in US cities over 100K equaling df query, and we can filter here for country is the United States. And another requirement is the population, which should be bigger than 100,000. And make sure you put this query in quotation marks. Let's execute this cell to see if this worked. All right. Yeah, we have at least 100,000 people in each city now, which is perfect. So we can also create a chart out of this, and this time we're going to use a scatter plot, but first I'm going to set the size for the figure. This time we're going with 10 by 10. And we're going to use the Seaborn scatter plot, and our US cities is the first parameter. For data, the x-axis will be longitude, y-axis will be latitude, and let's try if we can set the hue parameter for the population so that we get our dots colorized. And also I'm going to set the hue norm to 10,000 and max 2 million. right, we can clearly see the shape of the United States, and I'm going to use another palette though. Cool, warm, because now the red dots are the biggest cities. However, I also going to put the size now based on the population again. And I don't want to see the legend, so I put legend false. Okay, I like this much better now. We can see here New York, a bigger red dot, and all the bluer dots, the smaller the city. And yeah, let's also assign a title to this plot. Title is Geographical Distribution of cities, and the X label is the longitude, and of course Y label is latitude. Perfect. So the last question I want to find the answer to is to find the third largest city in each country. How can we do that? Well, first we have to sort our data set. So I put in df.sort values. We want to sort first by country, but also by population. And in order to have the country in a alphabetical order, the first column, country, is ascending order, and the population should be descending order, so the second one is false. All right, we see that the city Afghanistan with A is on top, and Zimbabwe with a Z is at the very end, and this makes sense. And also we have Kabul as the biggest city for Afghanistan. So now we want to find out the third biggest city for each country. How can we do that? Let's assign and create a new data frame called df sorted. Third is our data frame, and I'm going to create a name for this, a new data frame, df sorted, and then we'll add df sorted here to group by, because we want to group by this dataset by country. And now you can make use of the great function nth, and this might be confusing for beginners because in Python starts with number 0. So the third value is 0, 1, 2. So we must type in 2 here instead of 3 and type in reset index to get a new data frame. Okay, if we execute this, we should have for every country the third biggest city. Afghanistan, it's now Herat, and for example for Angola, Luanda. Let's have a look at some example rows here. So I can type in df sorted third dot query, and the country should be in either, let's say, Spain or Brazil, or Japan. And there we go. We see city in Brazil, Belo Horizonte for number 3, Nagoya in Japan, and Valencia for Spain. So this has been it for this dataset. I hope you liked it. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my channel to not miss any of the future videos. And also, if you have an idea of what else could be interesting to look at in this dataset, or if you have some other way how you analyzed this dataset, please leave a comment with the link, and I'm more than happy to have a look at it. Thank you, and see you in the next video.